Production support for the weekly special is provided by IU School of Public Health Bloomington, addressing public health needs by preventing disease, promoting health, and improving quality of life across the state and around the world through research, teaching, and community engagement. IU Credit Union, now offering mobile access to IU Credit Union accounts, helping account holders check balances, transfer funds, and pay bills through their mobile devices. Available through the IU Credit Union apps for iPhone and Droid. The Al Cobain Recognition Endowment Fund, established by friends and family of Al Cobain to support jazz initiatives on WTIU and WFIU. And WTIU members, thank you. Tonight, discover Hoosiers finding wellness and prosperity in unexpected places. Travel to Indianapolis, where Brotherhood on the battlefield inspired Brotherhood in the bar. And climb 7 stories into the downtown skyline to visit a unique Indiana farm. Try a little-known vegetable in a delicious new way with Earth Eats. And welcome the rich sounds of musicians Cindy Kallet and Gray Larsen. Find a new path or a new lifestyle tonight on the Weekly Special. Hello and welcome to the Weekly Special. I'm Erica Sagone. Tonight we're going to meet some amazing Hoosiers who broke the mold to better themselves. After serving 3 combat tours as a recon Marine, Travis Barnes wanted a special way to honor his family, friends, and brotherhood.
So the name Hotel Tango comes from the military phonetic alphabet, so like the Alpha, Bravo, Charlie, Delta, Echo. And the H stands for Hillary, and in the military phonetic alphabet, that is hotel. And the T stands for Travis, which T is Tango.
There is perhaps no better name for Indianapolis's first distillery than Hotel Tango. It manages to pay tribute to both love and friendship, as well as the military background that helped shape the way the business operates.
I met Travis first year of law school and just clicked. That's pretty much how it happened. We got engaged and we were married by the time we graduated law school, so it was love at first sight. Travis has like an incredible drive. He's determined. If he says he's going to do something, he does it, and he does it 90 miles an hour, which is wonderful because you don't meet very many people who have that.
What got me interested in spirits, or making spirits, was I grew up around it. I kind of saw it through family and friends doing it growing up. And then a few years ago, as I was kind of watching the Indiana law come through the legislature, I decided to make my own still to see if it was possible to start distilling water and just to start practicing. And then in 2013, when the law finally passed, is when we could actually turn the still on and use it.
They were classmates of my wife, Nabila, at law school. And they just were study partners, and they enjoyed each other's company, and when it was time to not do the law anymore, I got to come around and throw a few back with them and hang out and get to, just have some fun. And they brought us over for a meeting and said they had this idea about getting started on this distillery, with this artisan distillery, as it never existed before in Indiana, let alone Indianapolis. So we thought it was a great opportunity, and couldn't pass it up.
Suddenly we were getting copper parts delivered in our mailbox. And then he was reading every book he could about distilling, and he was organizing friends and family together to start fundraising and to start kind of really getting a business plan together.
In order to be first on the market, the ambitious group of students turned entrepreneurs divided the enormous workload among themselves, navigating everything from legal contracts to interior design.
You wear many hats in this job, going through the local politics here in the neighborhood and dealing with the neighborhood association, working with the architect and the plans, finding the general contractor on the limited budget that we had available, And then getting in here and getting your hands dirty, from sandblasting to digging ditches to helping with the electrical and plumbing. We built this shell of a building into an operating business.
In just a year and a half since the idea was first discussed, the doors of Hotel Tango opened to the public, and the steady flow of customers has continued to grow. Hotel Tango's menu makes use of the military phonetic alphabet, featuring products such as Romeo Rum and Victor Vodka, all of which include as many locally sourced ingredients as possible.
With Travis and his military background, we knew that that was like the theme that we wanted for the distillery, that we wanted to bring in the military, we wanted to give back to the military, and that was going to be a focal point of our business.
So in 2001, I graduated high school and started college at IPFW in Fort Wayne. My first semester, 9/11 happened. I dropped out of college about 2 weeks later and joined the infantry in the United States Marine Corps. So over the course of my 3 tours, I was hit with multiple IEDs, improvised explosive device, in my Humvee, walking, and out on patrols. That I got some traumatic brain injury, TBI. And that's a big part of what we're doing here is we want to hire and find as many vets and disabled vets as we can. As the first disabled veteran-owned distillery in the country, I think it's part of our duty, and we should hire as many vets as we possibly can. Especially coming back from war, that it gives guys a purpose, it gives them a reason to get up in the morning, it gives them a sense of community, especially working with other veterans.
We want you to feel like you're at home. Kick your feet up by the fireplace. Come and see the distilling side, the production side, see where we make the product. We want that comforting feeling of you walking in and know that I'm welcome here. Everyone's welcome here. And we want that to kind of perpetuate itself as we grow, and this will always be the face of the business.
Sometimes I don't feel like it's still really sunk in that we did take this idea to a reality in a relatively short amount of time. It's so crazy to actually fulfill something that you said you were going to start out to do when a lot of people said you can't do it. It's surreal. It feels like I'm in a dream.
For the latest information on their small batch spirits or for hours and directions, visit their website, hoteltangowhiskey.com. Whether it be seeking a new career path or simply a lifestyle change, staying healthy is key. And Annie Corrigan is here to tell us about a hospital that has a really interesting healthy food initiative. Annie, thanks so much for being here.
Glad to be here.
Okay, so this hospital's healthy food initiative starts in an unusual place. It's Roof.
And in downtown Indianapolis, two unusual places.
We have to know everything.
Yeah, so urban farming is this worldwide movement where more and more growing operations are going to where the people live, in cities. So in Indianapolis, they're going up. The Eskenazi Health building has this amazing, massive rooftop garden. They're not just growing food to use in the cafeteria, they're teaching people about food, about how to grow it and do it themselves, and then also to cook it at home.
Sounds like an amazing initiative. I think we should see some more.
Yeah, let's take a look.
7 stories above the bustling streets of downtown Indianapolis sits a farm with a view like no other.
Everything we do in healthcare, the entire biomedical model applied to treating disease, contributes only 10% to reducing premature deaths. We want to focus on the other 90%. And it turns out that the biggest chunk, 50%, is in personal choices, in lifestyle. It's nutrition, physical activity, connection to nature, social connection. The most foundational part of that is nutrition.
Eskenazi's mission of nutritional wellness started at the hospital 5 years ago, with 6x6-foot employee-tended growing plots and farmers markets. With the opening of the new Eskenazi Health Campus, the hospital unveiled a 5,000 square foot rooftop garden, the Sky Farm, one of the first of its kind in the nation.
We are growing fresh produce that we pick, rinse off, and serve throughout the hospital. So that requires a little more thoughtful, intentional deliberate approach, and so we now have a Sky Farmer. I don't know how many health systems have on their the roster of employees a Sky Farmer, but we do. Rachel White is terrific.
Despite unique challenges such as wind and heat from the concrete below, in its first season, the farm generated over 2,000 pounds of fresh produce for use on the hospital campus. But as Rachel discovered, the farm provides much more than just healthy nutrients.
I expected all of my experiences to be related to food, but one of the biggest impacts that I feel like this space has been with the patients that aren't necessarily here to learn about the food, but here to kind of get away from whatever they're here for at the hospital. It's more about the space and providing a very calm, healing environment. It's the idea that things change and things come anew. I think that's why people relate so well to the ground, to growing things, to that life cycle.
The farm includes specially designed raised beds for wheelchair-bound visitors, encouraging all who attend to participate in the farm's daily activities.
In addition to the food that we grow here, the Sky Farm gives us this opportunity of the teachable moment where someone who has survived a heart attack, a stroke, pneumonia, that is recovering in the hospital, may be thinking something a little differently than they were before they landed in the hospital, and they might be once they go home. But this is an opportunity to create a space where they and their family and their loved ones can come out, feel the warmth of the sun, feel the breeze, put their hands in the soil, pick a tomato, a blueberry, a strawberry, and be reminded through deliberate educational programming that really permeates everything we do of the benefit of real food.
I love that moment when what they normally see in the grocery store is not what they see out here. The moment where somebody realizes that that's what a carrot looks like when it's in the ground, like that's so unusual to me. Or I only know baby carrots. I didn't know that they are not shaved down, and people can be afraid to do new things or try new things if they don't know about them. I know that I am. So if I can explain what a kohlrabi is and how you might use it in your meal, there's more likely of a chance for them to actually use it and actually to eat it if I have that interaction with them. So familiarizing people with their food makes a big difference. It helps them make their choice.
In addition to the Sky Farm, Eskenazi employees hold various nutrition clinics throughout Indianapolis, providing fresh produce from the farm to participants and leading them through recipes and cooking techniques meant to inspire dietary changes at home. For Dr. Harris, she's hoping Eskenazi can change the community one kitchen at a time.
It's important to us that people come and engage with this space because we think it can help people understand that if we can do this on the top of a 7-story building, well, we can also do it in our backyards. We can do it on the empty lot down the street. And when we think about the inner city and we think about impoverished communities, I think it's sometimes hard for people to reconcile that we could have high rates of food insecurity, meaning hunger, and high rates of obesity. My view is that if we make good, healthful food available and it tastes good, it's well prepared, and it's at a price point that people can afford, individuals naturally gravitate to that. The key is to make the food accessible. So I think that when we have fresh produce as ubiquitous as some of the fast food options and the convenience store options, I think we will be well on our way. I would love to have at least as many produce stands on corners as we do pharmacies. I think when we get to that point, we're going to be a healthier community.
If you'd like to learn more about Eskenazi's Sky Farm or nutrition clinics, visit eskenazihealth.edu for more information. Well, Annie, I loved seeing the diversity of vegetables. There were some unusual choices in there.
Yeah, there was bok choy and kohlrabi. What about broccoli rabe?
I'd like to learn more.
Let's check this out. Earth Eats and Farm Bloomington with Chef Daniel Orr. What do you got for us today?
Well, this is a vegetable that is really, really good for us. It's called rapini or broccoli rabe.
Okay.
It is one of the older versions of that family, and it has much more of a bitter flavor, but you can see it has this little broccoli kind of flower on it, but it is very, very bitter. Anything that has more bitterness usually has more antioxidants, it's better for you. Anything closer to the original seed. And you eat the whole thing, the stems and everything.
Stems and all.
And it's delicious with fatty meats.
The pancetta then fits right into what you're talking about.
Right, a lot of times we've talked before on Earth Eats that if you have something bitter, it's usually good to add something smoky, salty, and maybe a touch sweet to kind of counterbalance the bitterness. So this is the pancetta. The other ingredients of the dish, we have some cherry tomatoes, pine nuts, and then some of my favorite, which you see a lot of times on Earth Eats, are the chili flakes, lemon zest, and garlic. Okay, and this is a very classic Italian dish. So we put our olive oil in the pan. You should see it kind of smoking a little bit. Nice hot pan. I'm going to add our pancetta. So I've just diced that up. We're going to add that to the pan. Got some pine nuts, and I'm going to add those, maybe about a quarter cup. We want to get those a little toasty. This is a very, very quick dish. We're going to add our garlic. And very quickly add our broccoli rabe.
Woo!
Touch of water. Throw in some cherry tomatoes, and the cherry tomatoes are going to give us color. Then those chili flakes and lemon zest. You'll see a lot of times on Earth Eats, I will use both lemon juice and lemon zest. That's because they have two very different flavor profiles. The lemon zest, Annie, has that nice kind of floral aroma, and then the lemon juice has the acidity. So a lot of times I'll use both in a dish. We're going to season this with a little bit of salt and pepper. Now the bacon's already salty, so you usually don't need too much. And we're going to add the lemon juice at the very end, and that's going to bring kind of a lively flavor. I like to finish a lot of vegetable dishes with lemon juice, but you don't want to put it in too early because it can make your vegetables kind of go khaki green, kind of army green. I'm going to plate that up. Got a nice white plate. White plates make a nice frame around your food. Always try something new in the kitchen. New flavors. Brings excitement to the whole family.
You can learn more about real food and green living on the Earth Eats website. Print off recipes, read the latest in food news, and subscribe to our weekly podcast. It's all available at eartheats.org.
Well, that sure looks tasty. Thank you so much, Annie, for being here today. We appreciate it.
My pleasure.
Well, I can't think of better music to cap off this show than our next guests. Let's learn more.
Our music is very intimate music. A lot of it is quiet, introspective.
It benefits from close listening rather than kind of just having it on in the background. If I were listening to it, if I weren't me and I was listening to us, I'd want to pay pretty close attention because it's fun that way.
Somebody said, gotta lock your car, gotta draw the shade.
We both love traditional music, old music that's been passed down from generation to generation. It's very beautiful to us. Part of what we do is to play traditional Irish music and traditional kind of Appalachian fiddle music, the kind of fiddle music that actually evolved right in Monroe County, Indiana. Traditional music that's played on the fiddle and the banjo and the mandolin. Well, a lot of people know of bluegrass music, but kind of the older roots of bluegrass music are what we call Appalachian old-time music. And that music is rooted going even further back into the past, largely from Irish and Scottish immigrants' music. I think there's definitely a kind of spirit of yearning in traditional Irish music. It's a music that is from people who were by and large poor and politically oppressed, who felt a great need to keep their culture alive.
Well, there's also a very strong rootedness to country, to land, to place, and so many people had to leave. So I think there's the whole, not only the hardship when you're there, but when you've had to leave your family. You have stories when you play some of the tunes that are associated with having to leave one's family and never see them again. So I think there's something just very, very deep and very beautiful, tragic.
And the drive to survive and to flourish. There's a humanity really deeply carved into all of that I think all of us can feel. One of the things I admire in music that I love to listen to is when there are no notes that are unnecessary. Everything that you hear has to be there. There's nothing extraneous. Every note is essential. And that's something that I strive for. I think we both strive for in our music. We're both really happy that we are able to put our life's energy into creating music and into sharing music with people. And we share music with live audiences, mainly on a fairly intimate scale. And when more people can discover our music, and if it resonates with them, wonderful. You know. So yeah, our music is
fun.
Yeah. We have fun. We love creating music, and that's what we'd like to keep doing the rest of our lives.
Yeah. We're so naive to hope so hard to just believe. Somebody said if you say yes, where will it lead? Where will it lead?
And now, Cindy Kallet and Gray Larsen. Cindy and Gray, that was just beautiful. Thank you so much. And if you'd like more information on their upcoming album and tour dates, visit their website, KalletLarsen.com. And be sure to go out and find inspirations in your own Indiana community. Thank you so much for joining us. And once again, Cindy Kallet and Gray Larsen, good night.
Come on, get your oars and row, my darling, and come on, get your oars and row. We've got tide in the river rising, come on, get your oars and row. Come up on your feet and walk, my baby, and rise up on your feet and walk. We've got arms reaching out to catch you, haul up on those feet and walk.
Production support for the weekly special is provided by IU School of Public Health Bloomington, addressing public health needs by preventing disease, promoting health, and improving quality of life across the state and around the world through research, teaching, and community engagement. IU Credit Union, now offering mobile access to IU Credit Union accounts, helping account holders check balances, transfer funds, and pay bills through their mobile devices. Available through the IU Credit Union apps for iPhone and Droid. The Al Cobine Recognition Endowment Fund, established by friends and family of Al Cobine to support jazz initiatives on WTIU and WFIU. And WTIU members, thank you.